Question number 25. At the time that an article was first featured on the home page of a news website, there were 40 comments on the article. An exponential model estimates that at the end of each hour after the article was first featured on the home page, the number of comments on the article had increased by 190% of the number of comments on the article at the end of the previous hour. Which of the following equations best represents this model, where C is the estimated number of comments on the article T hours after the article was first featured on the home page and T is less than or equal to 4. So basically T is less than or equal to 4 means this equation is valid for 4 hours. It's given that an exponential model estimates that the number of comments on the article increased by a fixed percentage at the end of each hour. Therefore, the model can be represented by an exponential equation. So, how will an exponential equation look like? C is equal to K times A raised to the power of T. C is the estimated number of comments on the article T hours after the article was first featured on the home page, and K and A are the constants. So, we have to figure out the K and the A will help us to get the exponential equation. So, what we can do is, what is given? It's given that the article was first featured on the home page and there were 40 comments. So how many comments were there when it was first featured on the home page? That means at the beginning itself, when T is equal to 0, C is equal to 40. So we will substitute this T and C in this exponential equation and we will see if we can get value of any of the constants. So 40 is equal to K times A raised to the power of 0. And anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. Therefore, we will have 40 is equal to K times 1, or in other words, K is equal to 40. So, we were able to get the value of K. So, anyhow, all the answer choices do have a 40 over here. And after that, it's also given that the number of comments on the article at the end of each hour, how much they are increasing by? They are increasing by 190% of the number of comments on the article at the end of the previous hour. So what we can do, we can multiply the percent increase by the number of comments on the article at the end of the previous hour. So what happens if we multiply 40, which is the initial number of comments, by 190%. So that means we will get 40 times 190 divided by 100. That equals 76 comments. The estimated number of comments for the following hour will be the sum of the comments from the end of the previous hour and the number of additional comments. So we have to take the initial number of comments 40 and add it to 76. That means 116 comments we will have after the first hour. So what we can do now, when T is equal to 1, C is equal to 116. We will substitute these two values and try to get the value of A now in our exponential equation. So, our exponential equation, as you know, C is equal to K times A raised to the power of T, and K we already got to be 40, as you know. So, 116 is equal to 40 times A raised to the power of 1. Now, to get the value of A, just divide both sides by 40. So 116 divided by 40. That means A is equal to 2.9. So now we know both K as well as A. K is 40 and A is 2.9. So that means it will be C is equal to 40 times 2.9 raised to the power of T, and that is matching to answer choice D, because in answer choice D we have K to be 40 and A to be 2.9.